Good evening and welcome back to the program. As you can tell, that wonderful introduction to Green Leaf Dispensary. We have the president of Green Leaf Dispensary, Omar Picante. Omar, thank you for being here again.
Hey, Mr. Whiteside, thank you for having me again. I truly appreciate being here again.
Absolutely. We're going to do this every month, my friend.
Well, thank you.
And we want to make sure that we get the word out. And I was really excited about the feedback from a month ago about what we were able to do and kind of figuring out what you guys are about, what you have to offer, and the education. Did you get some similar feedback?
Yes, we had received a bunch of calls from patients and just inquiries related to what we do. It was amazing, the feedback of people tuning in and getting educated about medical marijuana and how it can benefit them in their life. So definitely was a big plus, and we're expecting more calls as more of the word get out about being educated about our products.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And it's one of the things that was really big about all of those chronic conditions that really can make a difference for people. And all we have to do is just kind of talk to our physician about it. It's one of those things that you don't really have to hide behind. Talk to your doctor about it.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely our biggest pool of clients are definitely those who suffer from chronic pain. Mm-hmm. So definitely been getting great responses as more and more medications and products have become available through our manufacturers. Definitely has curtailed the formularies to that specific diagnosis, as well as others, as far as creams and a whole host of them that we'll probably cover a little bit in more detail, where the public can get to see the product that's actually presented by the manufacturers that we dispense in the retail pharmacy.
Okay, which is a really good point. It's a really good starting point. And that's one of those things y'all are always doing. Y'all are always researching for finding the best avenue for this medical marijuana, whatever form it's in, to be able to treat whatever condition is needed.
Yes, absolutely. Every day, more and more research is done from a manufacturing standpoint and from our standpoint, as well as my pharmacist, doing research so that we can provide a continuous loop of feedback between what we see in the dispensary, so that the manufacturers can understand the concerns of the patients, because this is all patient driven. So as this cycle of information of feedback that we get, along with involving our physicians, we're better able to continuously improve our process in rendering medication that is very effective for our end users, which is our customers and patients.
Well, and so you bring up a really good point about that continuum of communication about what people need, how to get it, and what is best for them. So it talks about how that loop continues and then you taking that data and information, talking with your pharmacist, with your providers who give you that information and doing that research to figure out what's best.
Yes, that is very important. Definitely doing a consultation with patients. Our pharmacists get that feedback firsthand, as well as our pharmacy tech team. So it has enabled us to let the manufacturers know what's working, what can we do to if it's a strength in terms of the medication formulary, or what tweaks can happen, so that we can continuously improve the product. Because as we continuously improve the product, the patient's health and lifestyle will continuously improve as well.
And that's what we want to do. I always want to make sure, as people are tuning in, that they understand how to reach you and how to come and see y'all. Let's give that address out again and that phone number where they can reach you.
Yes, you can reach us. We're located at 6048 West Park Avenue right here in Houma, across from the mall. Our number where you can reach us with any question is 985-3372.
So that's 3372.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the reason I do, thank you guys, I appreciate that. It's just one of those things that I always want to make sure, because some people who they tune in periodically, I want them to know exactly what to do. There's a second phone number, 985-360-3544. You can always get more information at info@greenleaf-dispensary.com. And again, that beautiful location at 6048 West Park Avenue. I've had the luxury of being able to see it and get a firsthand view of it. And it's just a very professional location of providing for the needs that people have.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we had a first-class facility. The Board of Pharmacy demands that of us, with a lot of different regulatory compliances that we had to make. But mostly we wanted to be top-notch professional, where you feel welcome, it's warming and it's inviting. It has a feel different than what a stigma that people may have, a preconceived notion. So we made it user-friendly, where you can come in and feel comfortable in the pharmacy and be able to talk to our pharmacists and be comfortable in the information and the dialogue that happens there.
Right. And in a professional setting.
In a professional setting.
And it really is. And so I've been able to do that. So do we want to spend a little time talking about some of the products that you guys have to offer? And I think we have some shots of that as well.
What I wanted to release today, just different products that we have in our retail location. All of this information is provided by our two partners, our two manufacturers, through Southern University, Alira Holistic Healthcare, and also through WellCanna with LSU. So this is all information that's provided to us from our manufacturers where people can get to see what's available.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this first one?
Yeah, this is a product that's actually through our Alira partner. This is actually a CBD product,
right?
Full spectrum and broad spectrum. This is products that is basically for those people who it can be so over the counter. So because it's CBD, you don't have to see a doctor to get a recommendation.
Right.
And it's very effective for a host of different medical ailments. So they have done a great job in providing this to be available at retail location. And patients get to understand that because of this partnership, they undergo strict regulatory compliance. So you're not buying CBD out of, say, a convenience store.
Right.
You're coming into a licensed facility that has a track record with regulatory compliance, as well as manufacturers who are regulated by Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry.
Yeah, and that's an important point. I mean, my wife has been, wanting she and I to use CBD oil. As we're over 50 now, and the aches and pains that come with being over 50, and all of those things with some chronic conditions that we have. And so it's good to know that we can go and get that there, because we know what kind of regulatory processes you have to go through to be able to provide that product.
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the assurances when you come into a licensed facility, that you can have confidence in the products that you're purchasing.
Okay.
And we strictly adhere to our two partners because they already are in compliance. So
Right.
Why not continue with that level of security in the products that patients are purchasing?
Right, and that way you can say, what kind of belief do you have in this? Well, we know that these are our providers, and we know what they've gone through before it gets here, and we know what we're doing to protect that. You have some protective things in place to make sure of that.
Yes.
Is there something else that you wanted to share with us? Another one?
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
Sure. This is also a CBD cream by WellCanna.
Okay.
It's LSU partner. And this is specifically CBD, full and broad spectrum. So not only the first one was a liquid tincture CBD product where you administer under the tongue with the dropper. Here is topical application where you can, if you have, it's strictly specific, site-specific pain or any type of ailment that you're having on a topical application. So this is application where you can massage into your skin, and it has that same kind of effect on a specific targeted specific area of the body.
Okay, and so the first one was both full and broad spectrum, but it was sublingual.
Yes.
It's under the tongue. You put the drops in, and it's kind of like some other medication that travels through the system and helps you.
Sure.
This one you can put specifically where your pain or your ailment may be.
Yes, and that's the key difference with it. As it's specific, site-specific application.
Okay, I got it. Very nice. All right, let's talk about this one from WellCanna.
And here's one of the actual THC products.
Okay.
Where you do have to go and see a physician to get recommended this product. This is a LSU WellCanna product where it's a 900 milligram THC product. And this is specifically tailored to those people who have pain.
Okay.
These higher dosage have shown to be proven to be effective for those people who suffer with these type of ailments. It's a liquid tincture that you drop on sublingually under the tongue, where it has an onset of maybe 30 to 45 minutes, but it has a long-lasting effect. So the pain relief it will be mitigated from anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to 8 hours after application.
Wow.
So it comes in 2 flavors, cherry mint and natural. I'm sorry, 3 flavors.
Okay.
Natural. So it just those are the flavor that has been studied, that has universal acceptance by the population as far as a liquid application.
And the difference between the first two that we talked about, the first one that was sublingual, both of those were CBD oils that actually can you can get over the counter.
Yes.
This one is a THC product.
Yes.
And it's sublingual as well, but it's something that you have to have a doctor's prescription
Yeah,
for.
you have to have a recommendation. It's not over the counter. That's the major difference. That is the difference between CBD and THC products. The CBD for the first visual, federally it has 0.3 THC. That's the maximum a CBD product can have as far as having THC within it. As you can see from the THC product, it has 900 milligrams within a 30 milliliter tincture bottle. So you can see the dramatic difference in THC levels.
Right. And again, it's part of that education that we're trying to get for people to help them understand. You know, I think some people still, this is a new idea. Certainly in South Louisiana, it's a new idea about medical marijuana. But we want people to realize that this is something that is available. It's a way, and it's something I talked about at the top of the show, it's a way for people to be able to feel better.
Yes.
And it's an option for people who have been in pain or in distress for many years, when there's some natural options for them to feel a little better.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, we always say it's not a cure, it's to treat the symptoms. It's an alternative that's outside, that's natural plant-based from traditional pharmaceuticals. So it's an alternative that you have tried. If other things haven't worked, then this is something that's another tool in a toolbox that you can use to be able to increase or enhance or better your quality of life.
Okay, very good. This next one, also from Wilcanna?
Yes, also from Wilcanna. It's also another topical. It's a full spectrum. So that full spectrum probably meets that federal limit of 0.3 limit in it. So
which is CBD.
Which is CBD.
Okay.
So this is over the counter where you can come in without a recommendation and be able to purchase.
Okay. Very
that kind
good.
of product.
All right.
Also, another tincture, from our southern partner, Alera, as far as, CBD tincture product where you can administer under the tongue. Just another visual close-up so people can get a full visual of the brand that is used by our partner, so that when you come in, if you like that specific brand that's put forth by Alera, then you request it, and we have it in inventory.
Okay. And again, the options for that, one second, guys, and the option for those things are, something sublingual may work.
Yes.
And that's helping. If you realize you need maybe something with a cream as a CBD, that may work. It's a way to kind of figure out what your body responds to.
Yeah, and you can basically see what works for you. Like I said, if it's more localized, like that knee or joint pain, then you most likely need that topical application.
Right.
So the patients became able, and also while you're there, if you don't know, we have the pharmacist on site.
Yeah, you can talk about all of those things, and the pharmacist is very knowledgeable. I got to spend only an hour with him, and it was pretty obvious to me. And they know what they're talking about, and they can kind of guide you through. And so that's a really good idea as we're going through these products to let them know, hey, they'll help you figure out what it may be or what it isn't. And what we need. So we'll get back to that list. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes. So this is one of the topical creams that is produced by Wilcanna. So it's a THC product. And then with that product, you have to have a recommendation because it has THC and CBD together.
Okay, it's got both of them.
It has both. So a recommendation is needed from a physician, and it's a topical application. And it because it has THC, for those people who have real significant topical pain or superficial pain, then this will be the product as opposed to CBD because it has that THC. It continues to have that THC component within it.
Okay, very nice. Well, that's also really good to know because, listen, I will tell you, just, again, at my age and some of the things that I need, and for me personally, I'll just think about and talk about the opportunity for what CBD has done for me. I'm going to go and try the next option of CBD for the cream and see how that works. I've tried the sublingual. I'll try that rub. If it's not working, I know that I can talk to the pharmacist or talk to my doctor about this last product that may be an option through LSU to be able to provide that and try that.
Yeah,
so
and that's
just good to know.
And that's the good thing about it with the pharmacist, to be able to, Donald, who is my pharmacist in charge, my partner as well, this may not work. And so he can give you, from his experience and what his research in the literature can say, well, this can be more targeted for your specific pain. We can look at doing this. And that consultation with him, also he can talk to his physician, talk to you, the doctor, to be able to say, okay, why not, doc? Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Would you consider this for the patient? So that continuous loop of knowledge that's being shared can better transition, if need be, to something that may be a little bit stronger that can be used by you as the patient.
And so your pharmacist, Donald, more specifically,
Sure.
becomes a consultant
Sure.
to each individual and to their physician.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so critical of having that licensed pharmacist on staff that you may not get if you go to other places who sell just CBD.
Right.
They don't have, he's licensed. So therefore, he has that professional opinion and that professional knowledge behind his recommendation as it relates to CBD that you may not get from a gas station or some other location that's selling CBD over the counter.
And you have the quality of the products that you
Yes.
know have been tested and that you've put your name on.
Sure. And that's so key, because you know that these manufacturers are licensed by university, that public-private partnership. Also, you know that these products are tested independently by another government agency, Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry. So you know that it's already been tested and pre-approved before it can be released to the general public through specific dispensaries who are licensed, who have undergone this licensing process with licensed clinicians to be able to give you the best medication available on the market.
Yeah, and it's another alternative, because quite frankly, you were mentioning something about people with regards to their pain level. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily always understand their pain level and or where specifically it's coming from.
Sure.
or what to do about it.
Sure.
And so this may be the next layer, if you will. And for a lot of people I know who have chronic pain and some of these chronic conditions, they don't really go to a physician regularly
Sure.
to treat it. They think, it's part of old age.
Yeah.
Well, but none of us should have to hurt that much.
No.
Especially if there's some alternatives for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's so critical to get that professional opinion, because sometimes we just push it off as, well, it's the weather. A lot of, if you come from a family like mine, I had a grandmother, well, when the cold weather comes,
the weather changed,
my bones creak. So, well, no, Mom, there's an alternative. Things have progressed. Let's talk to someone, a professional, to get an opinion about it. Let's talk to a pharmacist just to begin at the CBD level to see maybe this CBD cream is applicable to my condition. Maybe it can help. So let's go talk to the pharmacist of something that may not need a recommendation. And if we do need a recommendation, then we know, okay, this is the next step. This is what I have to do. That's the expertise that you get from a dispensary like Green Leaf Dispensary.
Well, and it's very valuable because I think very often people, they just want to write it off to whatever else it may be, when in essence we don't have to go through life that difficult. People can, you know what it's like to, if you've been in pain,
Sure.
to not be in pain. Well, it doesn't matter what it is, you want to make sure. And then, word of mouth from that point really is your best self, because then people realize, look, this made a difference for me, and it maybe can make a difference for you.
That word of mouth has been tremendous, as people have come in through the dispensary and have undergone and taken part in the medication available. It's so many testimonials where it's been a life changer. Patients who have couldn't go in a garden, couldn't, constantly take in opioids,
Right.
have tremendously reduced it, if not eliminated totally. So it's been a game changer in a lot of our physicians' life. And as our manufacturing partners have produced a wide array of different product categories, to better cover different ailments, and more products will come on the market. And as our partners have gotten behind it with the research, continuous research, it's just the future in the industry in Louisiana is so much promising, and it's all aimed at the patient. All of this is because pharmacy, our partners, everybody is involved in this industry is concentrated on people.
Gotcha.
We are about people.
And speaking of, let's go ahead and show them the rest of those products
Sure.
that you wanted to show.
Sure.
This is AYO?
Yeah, this is a brand that's put forth by Lyra,
Okay.
called Dream. And it's basically to have a combination. You need a recommendation,
Okay.
and it gives specific information of what it primarily targets those people who suffer from insomnia.
Not being able to
So
sleep.
it's not being able to sleep. So that's a product geared specifically for that kind of medical condition.
I like it. The next one, Jay?
And this is basically a guide, just
Okay.
some information from how to use.
Okay.
So we also have that information available too of how to use. And that as you leave from your consultation or talk with the pharmacist, here is something to look back.
And just some literature and some explanation.
Yes,
Gotcha.
just
Go ahead.
literature on the products.
Yeah, and again, the difference between CBD, the difference between what they address and how
Sure.
they can impact different systems. And so that's really, really helpful. And the different types of CBD, whether it's under the sublingual, whether it's rub, or you can use it that way. All right, Jay? And why the pharmacies carry it, is that right?
It has the research has just shown how 92% of people trust pharmacies as it relates to products. And this is another added advantage of Green Leaf Dispensary.
Fantastic. And again, the difference y'all can make in some of the research that's been shown, right?
Yes, sir.
And again, well counted, that's through LSU. And then just kind of a recap of some of those products that we've talked to you about a little bit tonight.
Sure.
The creams versus the tincture, and how they're presented.
Yes, absolutely. Just more in-depth details about the terpenes, all different aspects outside of CBD, THC, what's the terpenes. These are other cannabinoids that are available in the product that doesn't get the limelight or the headlines of THC and CBD.
Okay. Let's put that information one more time up for Omar in case you want to reach out to him over at Green Leaf Dispensary. Again, you can reach them at 6048 West Park Avenue. Telephone number 985-360-3372 or 985-360-3544. Info at greenleaf-dispensary.com. And again, go out and see them. Omar, thank you for so much wonderful information tonight.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Whiteside.
We appreciate it. All right, buddy. All right, guys, that'll do it for us. Don't go anywhere. Sports up next.